Here's our baseball insider, Steve Phillips. The Blue Jays are a last-place team. If they're still hovering around the basement come trade deadline, Steve, do you think they should at least explore the possibility of moving either Vladdy Guerrero Jr. or Bo Bichette?
Yes, the answer is yes. I think they have to consider potentially trading both of them. Now, they don't have to make a deal, but I think they have to keep an open mind and explore. Now, it wouldn't be a matter of shopping Bichette and Guerrero. It would be a matter of listening because, look, if they're out of it, teams are going to come calling. Understanding both players have the rest of this year, then one more year before going to free agency. They've underperformed a little bit, and there's a chance and a likelihood is that teams that are out there that are playoff contenders will like those two players even more than the Blue Jays do because they've underperformed. They could be change of scenery candidates to go to a new location. Now, the question is whether or not the value of what they could get for them at the trade deadline this year is better than what they could get in the offseason when every team is involved in a potential trade discussion, not just the playoff contenders. And so the Jays have a lot of things they have to consider moving forward, but they have to keep an open mind about both Bichette and Guerrero.
It's wild when you think about the conversations around these two players and how they've shifted for years. We've been talking about long-term extensions for both players. Do you see any way in which those types of contracts could still happen in the near future for Bo or Vladdy?
Yeah, I see no chance of that. I really do. And it's certainly it's going to be discouraging for Jays fans to hear it. But here's the reality, that Bichette and Guerrero want to be paid like superstars. They've shown flashes of that brilliance. So they don't want to settle for something less, even though they perform less. And from the team's perspective, they can't justify the big term mega contract, the $300 million deals when they have underperformed. And so there's no way to make a deal. If they do, one side is making a major concession, and I just don't see that happening.
So with all the uncertainty here, bigger picture, Steve, what are the Blue Jays? Are they a team that should push ahead here with a win-now mentality, or a team that would be better served thinking about retooling?
Yeah, this is a team whose window is closing rapidly. We know that for sure. Yusei Kikuchi's free agent at the end of the year. Danny Jansen, a free agent. Jimmy Garcia, free agent at the end of the year. Those are key players that are performing at a very high level right now, and they may price themselves out of the Blue Jays market. You look at Vladdy and Bichette, they're underperforming, Springer underperforming, so they really have to take a long look in the mirror and decide whether they think they still have a chance within this window to compete. I would like to believe that they do, that with some tweaks they can go out there and compete, but the market may force them into making a deal. If somebody knocks their socks off, it may force them into a retooling mode. I don't think there's a complete rebuild in the short-term future, but it could be a retool, and it could start as early as this July.
Well, this is a franchise that hasn't won a playoff game, never mind a playoff series, a playoff game since 2016. So, yeah, retooling might be the way to go. He's our baseball insider, Steve Phillips.